At the age of 5, I experienced something that no child should ever have to go through. I won't go into what happened, but I can say that it made me angry and I had a hard time trusting people after it happened. The impact of this incident on school was that I had lots of outbursts, I spoke out of turn in class, I had meltdowns and had a hard time expressing myself. But I always liked school. I attended 7 schools in 9 years. It was hard to make new friends every time I changed schools. New teachers, new people, new buildings. But I did my best and gave my best effort in school. At one school, I had good teachers, friends, and did well in academics and in socializing. My favorite teacher, was Miss Program. She always knew how to deal with me. She worked with me through my anger and was patient with me. She liked me too. After my first year, because she worked with me so well, before Miss Program, I had a teacher that I always got in trouble with. Because of my anger and occasional outbursts, she kept me away from my classmates most of the day. I ended up doing classwork, lunch, and recess in the office. I needed help following the incident, but what that teacher did was isolate.
As an educator, I always invested in teaching my grandson. I always worked with him in reading, and he turned out to be ahead of others in his age. Like at age 4, he could read at first grade level. By the time he was 6, he was teaching youth at church during Vacation Bible School. They still talk about that to this day, how he used to teach them Bible study. He was teaching people older than him about the Bible. After the incident, age 5, I saw a change in him. It affected his whole world: academics, emotions, confidence, and trust. He didn't trust a lot of people, and he always made me promise not to say anything when he shared things with me.
Fast forward to 6th grade. The week before Thanksgiving 2017, I was abducted. Thankfully, I was able to get away from the car where I was being held. I ran across the street to the Dollar Tree to use the phone and get help. After this happened, I just thought school wasn't that important. I thought school was just important. I didn't like going outside, I didn't talk to people, and I just stayed in the house. Some days I didn't want to go to school, so I would tell my mom and she would let me stay in the house and play video games.
Shortly thereafter, the school sent a letter to my daughter's house about truancy because Micah was missing too many days. She and Micah had to meet with the truant officer at the school. It was at this time that she told them what had happened to Micah and requested services like counseling concerning the trauma. He was assigned to see a school counselor, Mr. Hicks.
I saw Mr. Hicks only one time. I got no help in school with my academics or behavior. By the 3rd quarter of 6th grade, I had been bullied so much about my size and stuff like that, that I had started to get more and more angry. I got into my first fight. I was suspended for 3 days. A classmate slapped me and I fought.
Before this fight happened, Micah had told me how people were bullying him. He said, "Nana, don't say anything, I can handle it. Just don't tell anybody." I was worried about him being bullied, but in order for him to continue to trust me, I needed to keep his confidence at this time, so I let him handle it.
In October 2018, I got into a fight. This was my 3rd fight at school in less than a year. This was the last straw as far as the school was concerned. So they tried to expel me. I felt like I was just trying to defend myself. People didn't understand me and no one knew what I had been through.
At this point, I wanted to make sure my grandson got the help he needed following another traumatic incident in his life. My daughter, Micah, and I sat down and met with the school administration. Luckily, we knew about the Student Advocacy Center, and they provided helpline support in order to prepare us for the hearing. During the hearing, the superintendent told Micah that he was big and intimidating, and if he ran into him in public, he would be afraid of him too. And that was one of the reasons he felt like he should be expelled. My daughter and I fought this expulsion. We came prepared with information on alternatives to suspension and expulsion, research from the National Association of School Psychologists, state law concerning suspensions and expulsions, and ways to support Micah in light of the significant trauma he had experienced. We were able to successfully return him to school.
In February 2019, I got into another fight, and they sent me home. I was out of school for 2 weeks for my 5th fight. This was annoying because I had to go to my nana's school to be with her, since I wasn't allowed to return to school. She gave me assignments and homework to do while I was out. I was able to keep up with the work, even though it was high school level. Still, I miss my friends.
In these 2 weeks of him being out, my daughter and I tried to contact the school and find out when he could return. They told us this was his 5th fight in a year, and he was being recommended for expulsion. I called SAC again. And an advocate, Jenna, was assigned to Micah's case. She helped us get the hearing scheduled, prepare our whole family, including Micah, to give statements, and attended the hearing with us. My daughter sacrificed so much during this time. She often had to miss work, missed out on an opportunity for a promotion because she had to spend so much time trying to get Micah back in school.
When I first met Jenna, I didn't trust her in the beginning, but my nana trusted her, so I gave her a chance. I was nervous about the upcoming hearing, especially because of the things they had said about me last time. They had already decided that I was some big, black, scary man, and I'm just a kid.
At the hearing, we all got a chance to give our statements, and having Jenna there as a voice that was heard and not brushed off as ours was, made us know that we had someone fighting for us. She was our personal warrior, and when she spoke, even the superintendent listened.
Jenna helped me back to school. I felt like I had a voice, but before they weren't listening to me or trying to understand anything about what I had been through, or even who I am. I went back to school after spring break. 1 month out of school, Jenna advocated for me to get more help and support in school, have better relationships with my teachers and other people in the building, and use my coping skills to control my anger. I enjoy working with Jenna because she helped me get back to school and help my voice be heard.
I was beginning to get angry and frustrated with the superintendent and the principal of the school, as they weren't trying to hear me as an educator or school social worker, let alone a nana. But when God blessed us to have Jenna step in on our behalf, it made the superintendent and the principal back up and listen. They didn't put the requested support services in place until Jenna came and firmly suggested some of the same interventions previously requested and some additional. Jenna was my peace in the midst of this storm, and I will always be grateful to her and the Student Advocacy Center for being and sending a voice that spoke loud and clear on behalf of my grandson.
Now I'm in a new school. Things are much better with my behavior and academics. I get help when I need it, and class sizes are smaller. All of my teachers look like me, and they understand me better. I have a positive outlook about finishing high school and going on to college. continue playing football, and possibly in the NFL. I have the ultimate goal of becoming an architect or a mechanical engineer. I'd like to thank the Student Advocacy Center, and Jenna for helping me get to another step closer to my goals and dreams. Again, thank you.
Thank you.